Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time. My name is Kimberly, and super excited to be your reader for the day. So, we're asking, this person on your mind, what are their late night thoughts of you at the current moment? And again, whether we get some spicy details or not, we're kind of delving into the mind when it's kind of shut down after a long day, uh, potentially, and we're going to tap into that energy of what are they thinking about when it comes to you when they are in that state of mind at night. So, if this sounds like your reading, I hope that you enjoy. So, the pile selections, we're using one deck today. It is a new deck, The Stranger Things, based on the Netflix show, which I love. And I'm excited to get into it. So, I do have different crystals to help you identify which pile that you might want to tap into. So, that being said, let's go through it. So, for pile one, we have mahogany obsidian crystal. So, again, pile one, the mahogany obsidian. For pile two, we have just another obsidian. This one is just black. And shiny. So again, pile two, the obsidian crystal. And then pile three, we have this amethyst crystal, double pointed tower. So the amethyst crystal, double pointed tower for pile three. So just real quick to recap, the mahogany obsidian for pile one, the obsidian for pile two, and the amethyst double pointed tower for pile three. All right, guys, feel free to pause if you need to and tap into the energy of what crystal, what pile that you think is attracting you the most, so we could figure out what their late night thoughts of you right now, and hopefully you make a good decision. And again, as a disclaimer, I'm not sure what's going on in the connection or the situation, so we're going to keep it open to any thoughts that this person is thinking about when it comes to you. Hopefully, you are in the right state of mind. I'm not sure what messages are going to come through, but I always like to give a disclaimer on readings like this. So, that being said, if you know which pile or crystal is yours, I'll meet you over there. Bye, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the mahogany obsidian crystal, then you're at the right place, pal one. So, we're going to get into it. We got a new deck, Stranger Things, and we're asking, this person on your mind, what are their late night thoughts when it comes to you, when it comes to this connection? What crosses their mind in the wee hours of the night when perhaps they are in more of a reflective mode because they are being still more so than being active in their daily routine, which is why I love these readings, because I feel like we get a lot more inner workings of this person's thoughts because we're picking up the energy when it's late night. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit, as always, for coming through for the collective energy. May we get the best messages today with light and love and grace. Thank you so much again. Their late night thoughts of pile one. That is what we are tapping into. Like these cards are already bending a little bit, but you know, it's a strange deck, so we're gonna go with it. All right, Spirit, thank you again. So, what are their late night thoughts, this person on Pal One's mind? What do we need to see today? What are their late night thoughts? Pal One. Seven of Strands coming through, which is the Seven of Wands. Upright. Giving a little bit of Leo energy. I like these lights. Reminds me of fairy lights, if you know what those are. Eight of Spokes. Now, the Eight of Spokes in the reversal, but this is what it looks like upright. Spokes is cups. So we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse next to the Seven of Strands. Each of the suits in this tarot deck is named something differently. So hopefully you'll get used to it, guys. All of us should get used to it. We got the Two of Dice, and that's swords. And then we have the Empress coming through, our first major arcana. And look at, I believe that's Winona Ryder's character, which I'm not surprised. The Empress, definitely in her power, whether you're male or female, and it's Taurus energy, the Empress, which is earth energy. We have air with Two of Swords, Libra. And then again, we went over the Eight of Spokes, or did we? Pisces energy. We went over the Seven of Strands, a little bit of Leo. All right, let's get our clarifiers, guys, and then we're going to begin. What are their late night thoughts? The Moon in the reversal. Gosh, I had a feeling this was going to come out. So this is card number 18, also Pisces energy. We have two cards coming through. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse with the King of Strands. And again, Strands is wands. One of the drawings. Okay. Definitely some passion. We got the Hermit coming through with the Two of Dice. That actually feels aligned, guys. I feel like this person is a little bit stuck. They're not taking action in some way. And we're going to get into it. The Hermit is card number 9, Virgo energy, Earth as well. Let's get our last card. Knight of Scoops, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, King of Scoops. King of Pentacles at the bottom. This person you definitely could have some history with. We got the Six of Spokes coming through at the bottom. Just making sure these cards are not stuck together. Okay, that one was Knight of Swords in the reverse. Interesting. Magician. This person is definitely keeping tabs on you. They may not be communicating with you right now. I'm not sure what type of situation you might find this person in, but if you're sleeping alone, or I should say, if you guys don't live together, remember, this is their late night thoughts of you. So this could just be the current energy of them being in a very deep reflective mode. So if you guys are communicating, this could just be the current energy of when they are thinking of you. So let's talk about it. You know, the first thing we're looking at is Seven of Strands, which for this deck is Wands. Noticing how the three characters are a little bit on the defense. They are in front of I want to say their garage perhaps. And I do feel like they are being, the energy I'm getting, and based on Stranger Things itself, where they may be expecting some danger. They look like they are gathering to protect themselves, not allowing something to come in. So this person could have been very defensive or is very defensive. They may not be opening up to you in some way. I'm also getting with the moon, which is being clarified by Seven of Strands, which again feels a little bit like boundaries, where this person is being uber protective, maybe for good reason or not. Regardless, that's just their energy right now. It could be a little bit up coming out of fear with the moon that feels a little bit of someone that is hiding in the shadows, not really stepping forward. And if you look at this upright, it looks like these characters, and then you have the entourage in the back, is taking charge, is leading the way. Something's going to happen, but we have it in the reverse. So to go back to the moon energy of this person could be keeping their feelings secret. They could have their walls up. They may not be vulnerable, communicating to you in an open way. I'm also getting that the pacing of this person is very slow. This person could move in a very conscious way, but still, even though they're moving in a conscious way, they're still getting into their head about things. So let's see. We have the Eight of Spokes. I'm getting that they do view you as someone that is very attractive to them. They know that you are, gosh, the term, I'm hearing the term the bee's knees. Bees maybe something means something for you guys. I feel as though they don't want to leave this energy regardless of their own mistakes or regardless of whatever it is that they are doing currently in the 3D. They're reflecting on the fact that they're probably not going to get anything better. You are the Empress. You're coming through as someone that is very shiny, takes charge. It has those qualities that are very leadership qualities, but also someone that is hard to miss. You know, you're very attractive. You're very magnetic to this person. So it's as though they know that even if they were to leave, they would never find anything better than you. I feel like that's part of their thoughts. We're getting the King of Strands with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. This could feel like a situation that keeps coming back in, could be in a cycle with you and this person. This person is feeling a lot of passion when it comes to you, to go back to that energy of being very magnetically attracted in your direction. That's not that's not what they're showing you though. And I think that's where the moon energy is. They are keeping this hidden, they are keeping this secret. You might sense that this person is very attracted to you or has their eye on you, regardless of whether or not you're in a distance with this person. I do feel as though with the Wheel of Fortune, this feels fated in some way. Could also represent a karmic situation, but I'm getting more so that you and this person may have history, whether it's a karmic or not. This person is learning lessons, I believe, when it comes to you. I'm also getting like the imagery of a waffle where they're taking all of their emotions in. They're aware of how they're feeling. It's coming through. And yet they may not be open with you about it, but they aren't ignoring it. They're not shoving it down. So it is coming to the surface and they are recognizing these emotions and they're thinking about it late at night. I do feel as though that it's making them immobile in some way. We're getting the Two of Dice, which is Two of Swords. That typically to me feels like someone trying to make a decision, maybe in a little bit of stuck energy. The decision that they are trying to make is whether or not to let down their defenses and trust that this is a good thing. It's as though they know it, but they don't want to believe it. And they could have been hurt in the past, guys. That could have left them with their walls up in some way. Whether that's your energy that they were hurt in the past from, whether it's from their own doing or not, regardless. If they sabotage this in any way, or it's never really grounded itself into fruition, especially with the history between the both of you and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's almost as though something's being delayed or at a standpoint. Now, this person is deep in reflective mode. I'm getting that when she goes into, when 11 goes into that water, that salt bath, I should say, to float in order to be more conscious and to see the visions and to go into that different dimension. With this person, and again, we're talking about their late night thoughts. This could be a person laying in bed and really trying to go within. But again, it could be leaving them a little stuck. It could be leaving them a little bit where they're lacking stillness. Even though I'm getting the energy of such, it could feel like relief, guys. Like at the end of the day, this person, gosh, this message is coming through that they feel relief because they're able to think about you. I'm getting that maybe throughout their day, they're very busy. They don't really have time, but it's that feeling of they get to be in suspension, they get to be in complete pause mode late at night, and they're hyper focused on you. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, keeping tabs on you in some way, especially whether okay, how about this? Whether you are in communication with them or not, you and this person could very well be in communication, but late at night, they could still be creeping up on you and just trying to check out what it is that you did throughout the day. Maybe they feel they've missed some things that they want to see, potentially online. Either way, I do feel as though there is a little bit of, I'm wondering if it's a decision they have to make. And I think the decision that they're thinking about is, to what extent are they going to move forward and take this connection into a deeper level in some way? I feel as though they are in the position right now of reflecting on this late at night. Where do they want to take this? I think the debate with them is, how committed did they, I feel as though one of their fears is, if they commit to you, if it's going to feel too fast or too much. Though they do want to commit to you, we have the Knight of Scoops and the King of Scoops at the bottom of the deck. To me, this is the energy of someone wanting to make that stable offer, because they want that Empress. They know what they have to show up in. And the Knight does feel like forward movement, someone that's going to take action. And I'm looking at this character, looking at a notepad, maybe looking at notes, sipping on their, might be a Red Bull, which is an energizer drink. For those of you, most of you should know what a Red Bull is. This person might be gaining some energy, gaining some insights, maybe even journaling in some way, especially late at night. All of which is about you and moving forward in your direction, taking it to the next stage. I do feel, though, you might sense that this person has a hard time expressing their emotions to you. Regardless of that, though, they know you're their, I'm wondering if they're putting you on a pedestal, or if they do think you are their perfect counterpart that they can't imagine walking away from, yet for some reason they're still having a hard time making that decision. And I wonder if it's because they've never had to make this type of decision before, or maybe in a long time they never came across someone that has prompted this sort of action from within them that they want to move forward in a committed way. So I want to get into Place Oracle, which, strange enough, is an interesting deck that I chose for this reading today because Place Oracle, my intention is, you know, perhaps not literally, but even more so, like what they are thinking about, what place pops up, any messages, spirit. Where do they find themselves in their mind? At what place when they are thinking about you late at night? So let's see if we get any synchronicities or any indicators of where this person's energy is. Because again, it's clear that you're on their mind and they could be getting passionate with themselves as well. I wouldn't be surprised. The King of Strands, that is someone that is completely wowed by your energy and you're coming through as the Empress. Again, whether you're male or female, it's the energy of beauty in its pure form, someone that has the most confidence, someone that is stable. You are glowed up and you're consistently there. It's hard to explain, but the Empress energy, let's just say, is it's all the queens combined in one. You have financially, you are secure, professionally, you're sound, you're happy in your life. You're committed and invested in your own way, that they notice these qualities in you, and I do believe that this is sparking that heavy attraction in your direction. This is everything that they wanted and can't believe that's in front of them. Because with the Eight of Spokes, I'm really getting the energy that they are viewing you as the end game in some way. Yet, like I said, it could be their own I feel like they're hesitant, they're hesitating because they may not know, like, the map, the direction to go in some way when it comes to you. But let's see. Place. Okay. Within the vehicle. Gosh, we've never gotten this. Commuting experience, road journey. For some of these people could be, I'm wondering if they drive a lot. They might be drivers. As I'm getting a huge truck drive through my street, that is a huge sign, guys. They could be an Uber driver, they could be a truck driver, they could be someone that has to commute in their car. So late at night, this could also be them thinking about you while they're in a car in some way. Interesting. Parking lot, guys, you cannot make this up. This is, again, connected to a person being in their car. Park and go, parking garage, parking spot. I'm getting the energy. I wonder, and it's not for everyone. If they're driving around, even I would venture to say driving around in your neighborhood, just to see if they could pick up on your energy or get a glimpse of you in some way. That could be for some. Don't take that if it doesn't fit. But also getting like a building, a parking garage that's pretty big. Also getting sunset or sunrise. So again, late at night, this could be the sun going down. Interesting, guys. Let's get one more. That I'm so glad I chose this. Laboratory. It says scientific research, experiments and analysis, innovative and invention. Gosh, I feel as though they are heavily in their thoughts when it comes to you. Laboratory feels as though they are at work. And again, if they're in their vehicle, again, that might be a message for a lot of the people you're thinking about. Might have spend a lot of time in their vehicle or at work in some way. Also getting the feeling of a little bit more of keeping an eye on you. experimenting, analyzing, researching in some way. Streets. Oh my God, let's take a moment, guys. And we see this car, and I was getting urban landscape. I didn't say it though, just because I was thinking of like a high rise building or apartment building. Usually you find those in urban areas. So it says pedestrian traffic, sidewalks, and crosswalks. You might run into them on the street. They might visualize or have fantasies about taking a road trip with you in some way. But gosh, the cars is we're getting a lot of strong imagery on that. Let me know if that is a synchronicity in some way. Now, for those of you where this person isn't a driver or doesn't spend a lot of time in their car, what if this person doesn't even drive? So for that, I would assume that this person might envision you. But gosh, I think for the majority of you, something about this should connect, because that's just too many indicators. Spirit doesn't do things by mistake. All right, guys, let's get into Heart's Hidden Secrets. Their late night thoughts, Spirit. What else could we see? If they're on the move when they're thinking about you, in my mind, they're in bed. With the hermit, it felt like the imagery of them laying in bed. And that could be the case too. But I also am wondering if their thoughts start earlier in the evening than just when they're in bed in their room ready to go to bed. Like they might start thinking about you in the late afternoon is the point. When they're still kind of transitioning into their evening routine. Okay. Bottom of the deck, fantasy. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, we are talking about what goes on at late at night. So fantasy makes sense, guys, especially with the amount of passion they have for you. With the wands energy, it's that feeling that they they are thinking about you in a very good way, is the point. In a passionate way, in a way that's making them, forcing them, if anything, to make a decision, to want to make a decision, to go in your direction in a solid way. All right, shocking, exhaustion. Geez, we're looking at another type of road. Looks like the expressway. This person could be really going through something financially or professionally. Long journey, drained, depletion. They could be really running on low energy at work in general. And if they might have two jobs, they might do something during the day, then they might drive at night, something like that, where they are always on the go. But when they are thinking about you, that's when they feel the most still, escaping, pushing away, blocking, avoiding. That could be the case for some of them, guys. Intuition, shocking. Something about something unexpected might be happening, but it might take time. Pentacles, in this case, scoops. That energy is very slower than the rest of the major suits. Although wands, king of wands is very fast. But again, that's what they're keeping to themselves. How they truly feel, how they feel in a passionate way towards you. But I do believe that their intuition is speaking to them, especially late at night, especially when they're thinking and they're in that hermit reflective mode. That could be a moment when they are ready to lower their defenses in a way as well. So let's keep it going. Oh wow, looking at the time, this was a lot. I guess we are going deep though. This person feels like a deep thinker, to be honest, guys. And maybe it is the mood of the deck, the Stranger Things deck, because I'm envisioning, I'm in that setting. All right, let's move forward. Now we have Starry Beginnings Oracle, which I want to see if there's any, indicator of what else they might be thinking about late at night when it comes to Starry Beginnings. And then we're going to get into your advice. So, Spirit, your late night thoughts of pile one. What else? Anything else? Oh, all right. One fell on the ground. Wanted to get three, but maybe. Oh, no, I'm committed, guys. I'm committed to getting three. Thank you. Okay. Picking up the one on the ground, card number 10. No longer holds power over you. Dissolve attachments of the past with love. I'm wondering if this person is releasing some things that they probably needed to release before being involved with you in a committed way. Also could have affected you guys if you've been in some sort of cycle with this person. Again, we got the indicator of Wheel of Fortune along with the six spokes, which is a feeling of history between you and this person. And that's the thing. Maybe this person wants to start fresh and they are reflecting on how that's going to look and what they're going to have to do. Be clear on what you want. They want to be clear on what they want. It says put actions to your goals, make them a reality. I feel like that is a synchronicity, or what am I trying to say? A confirmation of what we've already been talking about. Card number 27, the idea that this person is ready or they're getting ready. We're getting the key. We got the Knight of Scoops and we got the Ace of Scoops, or I'm sorry, the King of Scoops. That's huge energy with the King of Strands. Like this person is getting that creative spark, but maybe that's just the type of person they are. They're not someone that recklessly takes risks in life. So this person could really be trying to get to a point where they do feel solid enough to move forward. And that could also have something to do with clarity, making sure that they are moving with intention. Past life emotion lives in you. You are expressing more. It is releasing. Card number 23. They might be ready to be more open. What does your heart want? Be free to manifest your heart's desire. Card number 24. I feel like, guys, that this is a pretty good indicator that this person is coming to terms with how they feel. I know I'm getting the feeling the message is they know what they want. And they just need to take that first step, I guess. And they will, but it might take some time. Right now, currently, they're not walking away at all. They're not even thinking about it, guys. So if you're not communicating, this person is they're heavily thinking about you, they're fantasizing, you're heavily on their mind. Let's get into your advice. And you might be communicating with this person. Again, this person could just be at work, and this could be what they're thinking about. You. All right, so let's get into your advice. Pile one. Wow. Feels pretty good energy. But again, I don't know what your situation is. So again, always use your discernment when it comes to this person. Okay? So let's get our advice, Spirit. What does pile one need to see? What do we need to leave pile one with when it comes to this energy? This is the Moonology manifestation. All right, bottom of the deck. We have last quarter moon in Pisces. I felt like there was a lot of Pisces energy with the tarot as well. Talk less, feel more. This could be spirit telling you to be more present as well. Take time in your responses. Don't be in a rush to have that back and forth communication, because I don't think that this person is in that energy. You might find that this person it takes a long time for them to respond. But I do believe it's because they want to be very clear with what they are sending you. They're being very intentional. So I think maybe spirit is telling you to match that energy in some way. All right, we also are getting Gemini, new moon in Gemini. Think it through. Pause, think it through. We're getting a lot of that. Talk less, feel more. Make that decision wisely. Release control. And that feels like outcome. This is Taurus energy, first quarter moon. And I believe, Taurus energy is, I'm getting that the message I'm getting is spirit is saying, if you're trying to ground this into the 3D, you can't force the time frame of it and you can't attach to outcome. So you might have to release a little bit of the pressure you might be putting on yourself or in this connection to allow for this to unfold at a natural pace. And again, it's going to be a little bit more slow. That's just the energy that this person might be in. I'm getting that you might have a hard time slowing down, but that might not be for everyone. But if that is the case, Spirit is saying, take a deep breath. Maybe, I've always wanted to try this. There's that thing. It's actually a thing. I don't know what it's called, but you go in water and you meditate. It's it's like a spa thing, but I've never experienced it yet. Either way, that could be an indicator that maybe like have a spa day, just chill out a little bit. Sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but again, Spirit is just reminding me to tell you to just don't react. Take it slow, think it through, and tune into your intuition. Okay? All right, guys, this is where we're going to leave your reading. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from this or gained a different perspective of this person and their late night thoughts of you. Really hope this resonated. And if it did, let me know. Love you guys so much. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Bye. Hey, everyone, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the obsidian crystal, then pile 2, you are at the right place. So let's get into it. All right, we're tuning into the energy, the frequency of this person that you are currently thinking about, this person that you currently have on your mind. And we are asking, what are their late night thoughts about you? What do we need to see, Spirit? Spirit, thank you so much for coming through, as always, for the collective energy. With much love and respect. Thank you so much. All right, guys. You know what? I just realized I kind of wish the window was open. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to open a window. Okay, much better. All right, let's give it one more shuffle and let's get into it. This person on pile 2's mind, Spirit, what are their late night thoughts for pile 2? So we have the 9 of spokes. And this is water. This is cups energy. 9 of cups. Coming up right. What are this person's late night thoughts? And then we have the 5 of strands. This is the 5 of wands coming through. What do we need to see? Justice. This is our first major arcana, card number 11. Pisces energy coming through. A little fire, a little water as well. Let's see. All right, what do we need to see? We have the King of Strands in the reverse, which is the King of Wands in the reversal. This is the Four of Dice. And in this deck, the dice is swords. All of the suits have different names. So hopefully it doesn't throw you off. But the dice is swords. So we have the Four of Swords. And then we have Temperance coming through, which is card number 14, Sagittarius. The Chariot in reverse. Ooh. Death in the reversal, and it's coming through with the High Priestess. I'm going to put it back just in case, guys, because these cards, it's a new deck, so I want to make sure that the right cards are coming through. So don't worry. Noted. And then we have the Six of Dice, which is the Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy is the Knight of Spokes. This is interesting, guys, because we're asking what their late night thoughts of you, and they do seem to be in a reflective mode when they are thinking about you. I think one of the things that they do is they do stay up late into the night, and I even imagine them staring at the ceiling. They could be fantasizing about a lot of different things when it comes to you, things that make them feel happy, that bring them a sense of pleasantness. I'm also getting the energy that they envision spending time in nature with you, doing something relaxing, engaging in the present moment when it comes to you. I do feel as though they're feeling good about it. I'm wondering if they, without knowing it for them, they might be fantasizing, and then when they fall asleep, those fantasies could seep into their dreamscape. Okay, to move on, we got the Five of Strands and Temperance, and Justice and the Chariot in reverse. Even though this person has really good, I would even say, illusions when it comes to you and what you and this person could be in the 3D. I feel like right now you guys are at a crossroads, could be very challenging in some way. Both of you could be kept up at night. There might be an energy that you feel when it comes to this person where you don't have to be in the physical presence of this person, but you're feeling them in some capacity. Or this person, when they're thinking about you in the middle of the night, or even, in the evening time, when they are kind of on their own, they might not live with anyone. I believe that's when something about them thinking about you relifts or re-energizes them in some way. However, I do believe that there is some sort of challenge between the both of you right now. This person is thinking about moving in your direction with some sort of justice, but for some reason they are not taking that forward action. Instead, I feel as though because they're lacking some sort of confidence, I would even say encouragement. It's almost like they lost their zest in some way, the fight. They're losing the spirit of fighting for this connection in some way, or at least that's energetically how they are feeling in the moment, because it's leaving them a little bit in that down energy, guys, like where they may not be going through depression, but a little bit of stagnancy, where they don't even feel engaged in life. They could also be doing things out of habit or saying yes to people and going out and making plans, but not feeling good about it at all. Like they kind of want to release this in some way. That could be where the six of dice energy is coming, where I don't believe that they are wanting to walk away from you, but it's more so that they are trying to walk away from something that's going on in their 3D. And I believe it has something to do with socializing. Now, Five of Strands also could be, a little bit of competition where they may have had at one point, not necessarily, so don't take it the wrong way, guys, and don't force it to fit. But if this person has more than one person that they think about, I believe that they no longer want to uh I would even say, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? They wouldn't even want to play around in that energy anymore. I feel as though that's what they're leaving behind. The options or the competition or some sort of layer where they kind of just lost track of what they want in a healthy way. And I believe that's what they're trying to bring justice, but they may be taking a time out. In all due respect to this person, I do feel like that might be a good move for them to take a moment to be alone for some of them, like where, they may have been experiencing a lot of different toxic situations that they, or entanglements, situationships that they may be leaving behind. But in order to move forward in a emotional way, because with the Knight of Spokes, I do believe that the forward movement that they want towards you is is going to be emotional. And they are, look at that, Three of Spokes, Two of Dice. It's as though they've made a decision that if there has been third party interference or entanglements in some way, they no longer want that to be affecting or something external affecting you and them. I do believe that they are thinking that you do light them up. You are a little different, and I do believe that there's a little bit of emotions with this Knight of Spokes. And this could all be a little overwhelming, could feel like something is blowing up. Like even this bomb, it looks like, gosh, I don't know if it is. Oh, it's a walkie talkie. But at first glance, I thought it was almost like a grenade that he's about to throw and it's about to blow up. That being said, this energy that I'm feeling, this person wants to balance it in a healthy way, and they could try to seek a little bit of balance and create more stability in their life before they would move forward in your direction with a love offer of some kind. But I do feel pretty positive. They are in deep reflection. And like I said, they are having really sweet fantasies about you, daydreaming of what it would be like to spend their day with you or to just be in, a routine of life when it comes to you, but they know what it would take. I do. But again, like with the chariot in the reversal, and this could also be that they made their decision. If you're looking at it upright, it's a car that's stuck. And it could be, symbolically speaking, that this car doesn't know which road to take, which way to turn. But since it's coming through in the reversal, that could represent that this person does know which path they want to take to create some sort of justice between you and them. And that could be releasing and letting go and walking away from any outside interference that they could have let affect this connection. Okay? So let's see. I want to get into Place Oracle. We could look at this place oracle as something symbolic, like what place do they visualize when they make a forward movement? Where might it be? Gosh, I'm like tongue twisted. I'm wondering if this person, when they communicate with you, does struggle to get their words out. That could be why they might be in that limbo, even though they've made a decision. Okay, Spirit, what else do we need to see? Their late night thoughts of pile two with the place oracle, which is an interesting deck, Spirit, to use for this reading. So please use it as you will. What do we need to see? What place? Their late night thoughts. Okay, hospital. Interesting. Some of you, not everyone, but this could be a specific synchronicity as far as like some of you might work in the medical field in some way. It might even be mental health. This person could also be dealing with some sort of ego or thought release, with the King of Strands. They're not feeling confident. So that could also be the energy of them when they're taking their Four of Swords, and they're in that reflective state late at night. This could also be them trying to heal something. Let's see. Oh, within the vehicle. This came through for pile one. Commuting experience, road journey. They could drive a lot. They could be a driver, and they could do a lot of their reflection in the car. They could also imagine you traveling to different sorts of places. They may see you in a situation where you spend some time in a vehicle in some way. Also, feeling like forward movement with the Knight of Spokes. This could be a symbolism of them journeying towards you, closing the gap in some way. And then we have Heartbreak Place. Loss, love, and grief, memories of heartbreak. This could be for a lot of them. That could resonate. Not for all of them, but again, if there's been some sort of conflict or challenge that this person is trying to create some sort of justice, bring justice into some sort of fight that went wrong, or a lack of decision making that created some sort of imbalance between the both of you, regardless, it's leaving this person a little bit maybe in a heartbreak place. They could also think that you might be heartbroken, or something about it feels as though it could be mutual. But this also feels as though if this person is feeling sad or heartbroken in some way, that also could represent their emotions. Nightclub, dance floor, neon lights. This could be for some of them that are still trying to release some of their old patterns. We did talk about external parties that could represent them living that nightlife, going to the nightclubs, going to the bars, and, you know, having those casual experiences with different, third parties. That could have been something that they dabbled in. And again, their late night thoughts. This could also represent, even if they're not in that phase, or if this is a phase that they're releasing, even if they are socializing and having a fun evening out with friends, they could still be thinking about you. So that could also be what it is. I'm also getting a message that they might have a little bit of a jealousy, that could be affecting their confidence when it comes to you. They could see you as being very attractive, bringing a lot of joy and fulfillment, of course, for them when they think and reflect about on you, but also they might imagine that there's competition in other ways. So, it goes both ways, especially if you guys are not in a committed connection. But I will tell you, their late night thoughts, they're moving on from that. I feel as though that stage of life is no longer appealing to them, and they are committing to walking away from that. Okay, let's see what else. Their late night thoughts of you. with the heart's hidden secret. Let's see, Spirit. What do we need to see? Okay. Clarity. That could be one of their goals. Gaining some insight, some clarity, and that could be what they see now, what their intention is for their own romantic dating experience, especially if they are releasing some old habits. We have chasing, we have time, past life. This could feel like some sort of conflict. This could feel like some sort of, meaningful connection. It could be, any type, however you want to label it. But it could also be a representation of this person having memories of you and thinking about things, and I would even say with conflict coming through and with the Five of Wands, that feeling of wanting to release this conflict because it's still circulating in their thoughts, especially late at night. They could be in the energy of runner chaser. This could have been the experience you and this person have been in, where they might be more so where they feel as though, especially their late night thoughts, since it's, you know, facing your direction, could feel a little bit like chasing energy at the end of a long day. That could be the energy, whether it's in the 5D or 3D, meaning, if they're thinking about you and they're emotionally invested and entangled, regardless if they're out with friends or alone fantasizing, they're still hyper focusing on you. And energetically, that could feel like chasing. Time could also be something that is up in the air, also representative of if you and this person have some repeated cycles. This could be like a karmic, for example, but someone you're learning lessons from, but not for everyone. Time could also represent this might take time for it to come into a less challenging place. It might take time to gain that resolution through this conflict, whatever this conflict is, guys. But I will tell you, this person's intentions, their late night thoughts, are to create some sort of resolution between the both of you. And I do feel like, if anything, they're learning lessons. I do feel like this person might have woken up to maybe some of their ways, especially if they haven't been healthy or if they've been a little bit excessive. As far as, with Wands energy, the King of Wands in the reverse could also represent what we were talking about before, just the lack of confidence, like having that moment where they're just not sure what move to make. So they'd rather take a pause and maybe be alone. So that could be for a lot of them too. Let's get into the starry beginnings. Let's see what else, Spirit, their late night thoughts of pile 2. What do we need to see? Okay, bottom of the deck, we have card number 33. You are healing your heart. The heart hurts, but it will mend in time. That could be, we did get heartbreak, the heartbreak place. That could be legit, guys, where you and this person, but specifically more so this person, could really be trying to heal some sort of energy that really has kept them in some sort of stuck energy that they are now becoming aware of. You are the breath. Listen and connect to your intuition. Card number 9, giving a little bit of the hermit energy with that number. Little solo. We did get the 9 of Cups too. This person could also be the type of person that has been comfortable being alone and dabbling in those casual connections where now they are seeing, they're feeling something a little bit different when it comes to you, which is now leading them into wanting a different kind of experience. It says, be authentic. Your way is the only way for you. Card number 11, justice. Wow. Miracles happen. Give the universe your clear intention. Card number 17, which feels like the star energy. Guys, this person is rebuilding. They're trying to activate some sort of higher frequency within them. They could be really taking a pause to reflect and rebuild and recharge. I do believe they want to come through in a authentic way, in a healthy way. And they do feel hopeful, or they're trying to feel hopeful. And I think when they're thinking about you, it's almost as though you are a wish fulfillment, a dream that maybe brings them a lot of peace, but could also be creating that pain because, that could be very unsatisfying. Eventually that could become unsatisfying when fantasies could only take you so far. But for now, this person is feeling very fulfilled by when they think about you. What's creating a little bit of a challenge is them releasing that heavy emotion of conflict because they're trying to balance it with how they feel about you. All right, let's get your advice. Spirit, what advice does Peltru need to see with this energy that we are delving in? Is this person, whether this person's legit or not, always use your discernment. Peltru, always don't ignore red flags, regardless of this person's intentions. You still want to make sure that this energy is coming towards you in the correct, right, respectful way. And even though I do believe this person is trying to get there, make sure that you, like I said, make good decisions and do what's best for you, okay? So we have full moon in Aquarius, be real. Don't live in your fantasies. Even if this person is living in their fantasy, Spirit is reminding you not to do that. It won't be helpful for you to be in illusions. Imagining what it would be like to be with this person in a relationship, or fantasizing of how it would be to be with them in a physical way. I mean, regardless of what that would look like in your fantasies, Spirit is saying make sure you are being real. That could also mean being present, knowing that that might be how you feel, but it doesn't mean you have to be swallowed up by those thoughts. Uh, okay. Reveal what needs to be seen. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Believe it or not, this is the time sensitive. I am filming on a last quarter moon. So that could mean something as far as time. We're also getting water energy with Scorpio and air with Aquarius. Reveal what needs to be seen. I feel like it goes hand in hand with be real. Don't look at illusions as if they are reality. And again, the potential of someone versus what they are actually saying and doing is, you have to make sure that you're using discernment. And if your intuition, you know, ignores what's right in front of you, that might be very difficult. So again, just make sure what this person truly is coming towards you with through their actions and their words and make sure that it's aligned. Step into your power, first quarter moon in Aries. And I believe that's where Spirit is saying that's where you're headed if you're not there already. I mean, that feels like a couple of weeks sooner rather than later where you are going to be stepping into your power and feeling really solid and good about your decision making and even your willingness to be open to spirit as far as responding to your intuition as opposed to controlling the outcome when it comes to this person. So, with that being said, I hope this made sense. I hope, gosh, it resonated with you in some sort of way. Let me know if it did. Thank you so much for staying this long. I love you guys so much, and hopefully, I'll see you again. Bye, guys. Pile 3, welcome to your reading today. If you chose the amethyst double pointed tower, then you're at the right place, pile 3. So we are using this really cool deck, the Stranger Things, to, to use in our reading today. We're asking about this person that is currently on your mind. Well, stranger things have happened. Like I was saying, we're asking about this person on your mind, what their late night thoughts of are you. It feels very alarming, and the fire just went out. Oh my goodness. All right. I feel like this is meant to be pile 3, so we're going to roll with it. All right. Spirit, thank you so much for coming through, as always, for the collective. As we're tuning into the frequency, the energy of this person on pile 3's mind, we're asking what their late night thoughts are. Thank you so much for coming through. What are their late night thoughts? So we have the 3 of scoops. We're going to take that upright. 3 of, and scoops is pentacles, guys. Sorry. We have the ace of strands. Now the strands in this deck is wands. All the suits have different names. Let's see if we could light this bad boy up, or it might be over. Oh, I think it's done. Hang on one second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. I wanted to get another tea candle because it just feels right. But what interesting timing that we heard all those honks and then the fire. It was time for the fire to die out. It was just interesting. All right, and now we have the ace of strands, which is the ace of wands. Could be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. But it feels like a fresh creative spark. This person is. We have the 2 of spokes, and that's the 2 of cups. Spokes is cups, guys. Wow. Look at how both these people are on the bike. All right, let's keep going. Just make sure it's not. So we have the 10 of dice, which, gosh, I'm not sure if it wanted to fall upright or in the reverse, but it looks like it wants to fall upright. So 10 of dice is the 10 of swords. Was there some sort of ending, a breakup? This person might want a reunion in some way. They do not want this to die down. And as a matter of fact, it's almost as if they're getting this huge, like they're being reignited. We have the page of scoops, and it's coming through with the queen of spokes. Now, just to remind you, spokes is the cups. So we have the queen of cups, and then we have the page of pentacles Coming through with the Ace of Wands, which is strands in this deck. We have the Six of Dice. I'm wondering if, gosh, did someone walk away from this? Did someone sabotage this? There was a breakup of some kind, even though I feel like it's pretty mutual. It's most likely mutual between the both of you guys. We have Justice in the reverse. This is Death in the reverse. Okay, this person's late night thoughts. Now, if this doesn't sound like your person, this might not be your reading. Feels like a breakup. It feels as though there has been some sort of ending. Could have been very difficult. There could have been some sort of sabotage. I'm getting a hurtful event took place. And now this person is thinking a lot about getting to a better place, coming forward because they have emotions for you guys. If this could be love. I'm also getting a passionate energy that they feel when it comes to you, to the point where they may have burned themselves out at one point, which could have created some sort of sabotage. They may have walked away. They could have ended this before it really began, especially if something spooked them. Okay. One of the things that I'm getting is they view you as very powerful. And they want to strategize with how to move in your direction, in your good graces. I do believe that they see you as someone that wouldn't be mad at them. Maybe whether they're right or wrong, I'm not sure. Or if anything, that you would have open arms when it comes to them, meaning you wouldn't turn your back. We see this, 11 throwing that ban up in the air as it was coming toward. So that's not the typical vibe I get with the Queen of Cups. It feels more defensive. So I'm wondering if they do think at this point you might be a little bit where your walls are up. You might not be as open as you once were. You could have been someone that is a giver, that really did give to this connection or to this person, and this person did not value it, or they may have ran away from it in some way because it created anxiety. I'm getting that this person was really in their head when it came to you. I do believe that currently now, when they are thinking about you, they could be emotionally eating in some way, or emotionally doing something to try to preoccupy themselves from you. I do feel as though they want to get to a better place, but they just don't know how. I think the challenge is how you would receive them. And I do believe that their energy is coming through as a page, guys. That could represent that this person might be a little bit on the immature side when it comes to handling a romantic connection, especially a connection that feels like a Two of Cups. It could be a soulmate. Excuse me. I'm a loss for words. But it could feel like a soulmate. It could feel like someone fell in love, but they don't know how to handle it. So they're coming towards you in, it could be baby steps. This is the younger sister. She's the youngest, yet she's very intelligent. So I do feel as though this person is a lot more logical. So maybe navigating, coming towards you in a earth, in a grounded way is something that they're doing more in a calculated way than anything else. So they're making a conscious effort. But again, they're not going to start with anything large. They're going to come in with maybe something small, but also something substantial. Because even the little sister in the Stranger Things, she was one of the smarter characters. She was very feisty, and she said it like she saw it. She was very outspoken. So I believe that this person is going to really be vocal in an intelligent way. At least that's what they are thinking about, guys, whether they do it or not. Because the fact is, they walked away, or they may be thinking about you walking away, and it could be mutual with the Ten of Swords. But the feeling as though they want to reconnect, they want to bring life back into this connection. It's almost as though, like these stringed lights, like there's one still hanging by a thread. There's still one spark left. So maybe if you find the bad bulb, you could fix the string of lights. So I do believe that this person wants to fix something, but also create an abundance that could bring some fulfillment. The Ace of Wands it could be sudden too, but yet we're getting scoops, which could be very slow. So even though they may be feeling this creative energy, this spark, how fast they move in your direction or whether they do it at all is kind of where they're unsure or unclear. We got the Justice in the reverse. They may not know how to fix this right now. And some of the strategizing that they may have done could have created the conflict. They could have said something that really threw you off or made you, whether you're male or female, but you're coming through as the Queen of Cups, made you, who is so loving and supportive and open, and you could be closed off in some way, or making them work for it. Or you could be expressing your anger in some way. I'm curious if they did something. They don't want this to end, though. I will tell you this, regardless of whether or not they think they could fix it. I want to see, let's give it one more quick shuffle, but because the Six of Swords, it is someone that is leaving something for good. And I'm wondering if they may think you, I don't know, let's see. Let's see if it's you or them. That's why I'm thinking it's more so them that may have sabotage in some way. But why is this Six of Swords here, right? I feel like this card needs to come out. Ten of Spokes, which is the Ten of Cups. Walking away from something really good. And it's with the Two of Cups. Who walked away? Who sabotaged this? Was it them, Spirit? I'm pretty sure it probably was. Death and the Tower. This could have been very sudden. It could have been a blindside. And the funny thing is, it could have been something that this person really didn't want to do. I'm wondering if they are keeping themselves or kept themselves from changing, making like some sort of transformative step in a romantic direction. And it could be out of fear. We got the Three of Strands, which is the Three of Wands. I do feel whether you or this person are in a disconnect, and again, I'm getting for a lot of you, it could be a no contact or some sort of breakup or ending. And then we got the 10, another 10. 10 could mean something for you guys. 10 of Strands, which is the 10 of Wands in reverse, feels overwhelming. I do feel like they're yearning for you at this point. That feeling of they may not have realized what they lost until they lost it. And if the Queen of Cups is not happy with them, why is the Ten of Swords here, Spirit? Was there a betrayal? Or was it just the end? What do we need to see, Spirit? And then we'll move on to the Oracle. Okay. Why is the 10? We got the Hierophant. in the reversal, someone running away from commitment, which is why they're coming in now with page energy. They do want to fix it, but they're not going to take huge steps. We got another 10 of scoops, 10 of pentacles coming through with the 6 of cups. Wow. I'm getting this person wasn't ready for you. And until they make that change or transform into that energy that could meet your frequency, they are going to, I feel as though they are still going to move forward, whether they're ready or not. But I think that they're going to try to attempt to be ready first, but then they're going to test the waters in some way in case they're not ready. Does that make sense? I want to move on to the oracle. Let's get into the place, oracle spirit. Symbolically speaking, or literally, what place, their late night thoughts of you, what are they thinking about, spirit? Late night thoughts. Any synchronicities, confirmations, or indicators of where this person is in their late night thoughts using the place oracle. Let's see. Okay. Wow. What do we need to see? Their late night thoughts. Where are we? Okay. Gosh, did one flip over? Double checking, guys. Bottom of the deck energy, we have kitchen tools, meal preparation. It's funny. I was getting that they were emotionally eating or doing something to help them, maybe drinking or partaking in, you know, uh, extracurricular things to alleviate some of the stress that they may be feeling when it comes to this connection. But yeah, they could be trying to, soothe themselves as they are thinking about you. We got swimming pool, sunbathing, tanning, pool games, fun, pool parties. Water energy could be a signifier. They could be in their emotions. I'm getting more so that this is representing emotions more than anything else as far as where they are currently at. Their late night thoughts. We're getting passion, we're getting heavy emotions with the 2 of cups, which could be love. And for this person, if they hurt or did something to make the Queen of Cups upset with them, gosh, they have a lot of work to do. And they, again, whether they're ready or not, even though I do feel like they are leaning more toward being ready for something, but they may not be 100%, is why they might be taking baby steps. We got forest cabin, secluded retreat, cozy fireplace, remote getaway. Time sensitive, it is giving fall energy. Could be like your scary movies this person is partaking in to get their mind off of things. They could be secluding themselves as well. We also have post office. Wow, that feels like messages. And look at how it's giving holiday imagery of winter holiday imagery, depending on whatever holiday you celebrate during winter. Mail delivery, written correspondence, package tracking. That could represent communication, that you might receive messages. And that could be where the baby steps are. Just, and this person might not tell you how they are feeling, but you might feel their energy that they want to reignite this. They want to reconnect and get into an alignment. So the string lights could work again and could create that signal between the both of you. Let's see what the Heart's Hidden Secrets have to say. I'm sorry, pile 3, if you're going through some heavy energy. I can't ignore the 10 of Swords. They may be going through it as well. I mean, they are going through it, I should say. You might not be. But this person, I mean, they're going through it because they have emotions for you. And I'm wondering if and they just don't know how to fix it right now. So they're going to test the waters, like I said. Let's see what else they're thinking about, Spirit. Their late night thoughts, Spirit. What do we need to see? The path 3. One fell on the ground. Bottom of the deck, influences. Interesting. We have heart fog, return, and finality. This feels very aligned. I want to start with influences as far as this could have been what was the sabotage. If they did not allow this to naturally evolve or unfold like it should, and it could have been their energy that created some sort of distance, and it could have felt like a betrayal as well, especially if everything was going very beautifully. So it could have been one of those things where it caught you off guard, and it could have been very painful. And it could have been painful for this person, regardless of them creating the action to begin with. Felt very final. You know, with the Six of Swords, someone walking away from love, from something that could be beautiful, feels like a betrayal. And I do believe that this person now understands what that was about, but they just don't know how to fix it. They do want to return. And I think part of how they should fix it, and maybe that's the conclusions they're starting to realize in some way, is the epiphany of, you know, whatever it is that got in the way in the first place. Could have been their own thoughts, their own history when it comes to romance. It could have been them keeping themselves from feeling and falling in love and being in love. You know, that could be very uncomfortable, especially for someone that is not comfortable being vulnerable. You know, a heart fog could imply that this person didn't understand what these feelings were, but with this loss, and how sad is that? Like, it takes losing someone or being at a disconnect or being in a no contact for a person to realize what it is that they truly are missing, if that makes sense. So obviously, always use your discernment, whether or not this person returns, whether or not you are willing to reignite this and match that energy. It's really going to be up to you. I do believe that you are going to use discernment, and I do feel that they know it. They know that your walls are up, that you are going to be very cautious, which is why they might be a little bit in stagnant energy right now, because they know this. They don't want to come at you and them get rejected. And I know that sounds frustrating too, because if they're the ones that did the rejection in the first place, you know, and now that's what they're trying to avoid, it's it's like a catch 22 almost. But again, this person has to figure it out, guys. So let's see, what else are their late night thoughts with the Starry Beginnings Oracle? Let's see what we could get. Their late night thoughts, pile 3. Whoa, that's obviously too many. Oh my goodness. All right. Two two fell out, one fell on the ground. So we have 3, and I think that's great. Explore, love, create. Wow, that feels like the Ace of Wands, which is what this person's energy is in when they are thinking about you. They're not going to let whatever happen keep them from moving forward because they're realizing how much they really truly feel about you guys. And again, it's frustrating to hear because if it took losing you in order for them to understand this, that could be very difficult, especially if they're the ones that ended it, you know? All right, time to do it differently. Wow. That's card number 44. This is card number 22. Geez, guys, it feels very synchronized. And I believe that's what they want. They want to do things differently. It says, go beyond what you have done before. They for sure want to switch it up, guys, especially if they didn't come to you correctly. This bottom of the deck says, the only thing that holds you back is you. Yeah. This person knows it and they're recognizing it. And now it's like they're living in pain over it. And they're hoping that you will provide them with some sort of compassion because they know that's truly who you are. And even if they don't deserve it, they're still hoping that you'll grace them with that energy. Guys, that message came in really strong all of a sudden. All right, this is card number 6, Lover's energy. Remember, love is the key. Love what you have in your life right now. Guys, a big theme of love, of them understanding how they feel. And it's big love. It's 2 of cups. And maybe they felt it even before the finality of this, but they didn't accept it until now. Look at this. Breathe love into your life. Remind yourself to breathe. You can't get more clear than that. Love what you have in life right now. I feel as though that's what it is. That's what they're gaining this understanding, this epiphany. They're starting to realize that whatever they held onto that created that breakage, that disconnect, that created that finality between the both of you, they will have to release it in order to create that union between the both of you again. And maybe it is their own, thoughts when it comes to, it could be as simple as them thinking, having fear over commitment, for example. So they're going to take baby steps. They're going to come to you in a page energy and create some sort of consistency before, with the intention that you're the only one, but without putting so much pressure onto it. Like, it's hard to explain. They're not ready to take that leap, but they're going to do it anyway because of how they feel. So they're going to take it very slow. And, again, gosh, I feel like they love you guys. We're getting too many indicators of that spark, that reignition, that sense, that heavy burden of losing something or someone that you truly thought would always be there, maybe. And now that you do have your walls up, perhaps, Pile 3, it's hitting them hard. Let's get your advice. Spirit, what is our advice for Pile 3? Their late night thoughts. What an interesting read. Ooh. Gosh, some of these are falling to the floor for you guys. Full moon in Libra. Libra energy. Happy birthday, Libras. And it says find a balance. Maybe that's a message you need to hear, especially if you've been feeling a little bit all over the place. If you're trying to temper your own energy, I think Spirit is saying to get more aligned in your everyday life. Maybe walk in nature. Something about nature, being present, taking that those reflective meditative walks. I'm getting, for those of you, if you haven't done it in a while, don't forget to do that. Clear your energy. Find your balance. And then we have make time for self-love. Libra again. Wow. Last quarter moon in Libra. Time sensitive. I am filming on the last quarter moon. I think it's a pretty big moon too, last quarter. So this could be current energy, guys. As far as you and this person and what's going on, where you might sense this person trying to reconnect, or you might get a message from this person sooner rather than later. But again, don't expect it to be fast paced. Uh, it's still gonna be tempered. And then it says, ooh, hunk in the background. Go for it. New moon in Aries, fire. So that could be a sign for you too, that if this person does come in, don't wait for it. But again, like I said, I think it's coming in faster. And Spirit is saying it's not a bad idea to just see what happens. Maybe go lean into it. Okay? Especially if that is what your intuition is telling you, leave the past energy in the past, embrace the flow of life, and see how this all unfolds in real time. Okay? Don't forget to take your nature walks. That's going to keep you more present and more able to come from a place of response as opposed to reaction. Okay? That being said, I hope that helped. I hope that made sense. And if you resonated with the messages, let me know in the comments or send a like my way. I love you guys so much, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Take care.